Hi everybody, this is Rick from Studio Spades, and today I'm going to review the Tamron 150 to 500 millimeter telephoto lens for the Sony E-mount. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and going to tell you if this is a recommendation or not. So by now I've had it for I think something around 3 months. So this is a semi-long-term review. I'm going to show some photos I shot in between to show you the kind of images you can make with it. And full disclosure, I am an entrepreneur that makes images for companies so they can market their products or services, whether it be 3D animation, videography or photography. I help them communicate with imagery. I've bought this lens on my own as a business purchase, as an investment, so it's not like Tamron sent it to me. I decided to buy this one on my own, so hence I'm doing this review. Now I'm gonna talk about some pros and cons in a completely random order. These are just the things that popped up into my head while contemplating this review. So don't think that one is more important than the other because it's mentioned earlier in the video. It's just completely random order. So first of all, I want to talk about the weight of the lens. I was looking for a telephoto lens that was had a very good range, which is of course the 500 millimeter, and what also was important to me is that it was quite portable. There are some alternatives in similar categories for the Sony E-mount, and this seemed to be the quote-unquote smallest and lightest of them all, while still bringing a good image quality. That's what I got from other reviews on camera websites. You should know that even though it is quite portable for a super telephoto lens, it's still very heavy. So if you take this on a shoot with you for a couple of hours, half a day, maybe a full day, I definitely recommend getting a tripod or a monopod, because when you're slinging this thing around all day or even a couple of hours, it can get quite tiresome because it's still about 2 kilograms, I think, which can get quite heavy after long use. So definitely recommend getting something to support the weight. Something I kind of dislike about this lens is the focus ring. I think the location for me personally is quite silly. You have a very big zoom ring, very big, on the front here, and when you zoom in, it kind of feels unnatural to have the focus ring all the way back here. I would expect it to be more near the zoom ring personally. That would help me a lot. Luckily the autofocus is really good, so I never use the manual focus actually, unless there's some autofocus problems maybe, but that almost never happens. So just a bit weird location for me personally. It feels nice, it's quite smooth to turn. But I think the location personally is a bit counterintuitive to me. Another thing I dislike a bit is that the lens hood, which is very good on itself, feels kind of wobbly, just a little bit when you attach it. It's not the tightest fit. It could definitely be worse, but I've had once or maybe twice in the past 3 months that I apparently didn't seem to connect it firmly enough, and it dropped off. Again, this is not a huge problem, it's just that happened to me, and personally maybe could be slightly better, but it's a nitpicky thing. It's not a huge problem, but it's not the tightest fit to me. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please take a look at my website or other products I sell on other websites. I have a web shop on my own website, studiospace.com. I have an account on the Superhive market where I sell Blender products and products that can help you with videography and or even photography. And I also have a Patreon where I upload exclusive tutorials and products that you won't be able to get anywhere else. So definitely take a look at that. And yeah, these shops help me to create products that help you create good imagery faster with less effort. So yeah, definitely take a look. And now let's continue with the video. Now, one thing I do like about the lens is the black color. It might be a nitpicky thing as well, but the Sony telephoto lenses, for example, the 200-600 I think, and the 100-400 G Master is white, and I have a black Sony Alpha 7 body Mark IV, which I'm using right now to film on. And personally, I just dislike the look of a white lens on a black camera body. It's a bit silly to me. I'm not sure why. It also sticks out like a sore thumb. I think a black lens fits it a lot better because the body is black, and if I had a white body, I would probably get a white lens. Yeah, it just kind of sticks out to me like a sore thumb. It's also more noticeable by, I don't know, maybe people or animals that you might want to photograph. A white lens just sticks out. It's way easier to spot. And if you want to be a bit more stealthy and inconspicuous so that you don't bother the animals, for example, that you want to photograph, I think a more stealthy black look is definitely handier because you don't want to scare the animals. Might be a bit nitpicky and silly thing, but yeah, I just prefer a black look. That's just a personal taste. Another thing that seems like a handy feature, but I personally have never really used, is the zoom lock. You can slide it to the front and you see the white ring appear. That means it's locked. Could be a handy feature, but personally I've never used it until now, of course, because the zoom ring itself is really sturdy. I've never had a problem with the lens accidentally extending or accidentally slipping to another zoom range. So it feels like a bit of an unnecessary thing. I've never really used it. Other people might swear by it. It's there, so I'm not truly complaining, but yeah, I've just not really seen the use of it personally. Now, on to a positive point. And I do like the lens, even though I've been nitpicking on some minor things that I don't like. A positive point: the autofocus is really, really good. It basically focuses on anything I throw at it, quite fast as well. So definitely impressed with this lens considering the price. I know it's a quote-unquote cheaper lens compared to the 100-400 Sony G Master, for example. And I have another Sony lens. I don't have the 100-400 by the way, but I do have a 24-70 GM2, which I'm using right now to film on. And the autofocus on that Sony lens is just ridiculous. It catches basically everything. Now, I know that's a different type of lens, a different class of lens, and I think Sony prevents third-party brands from using the full speed of the autofocus. I think I read that somewhere. So I understand that the Tamron might not be as quick, but yeah, I'm really impressed with the autofocus. I barely have had any problems with it. Maybe once every, I don't know, 300, 500 photographs I take, it couldn't really track the object I was trying to focus. But this was mainly the case with birds against the backdrop of a sky. So a bird might be flying overhead, for example, and I would photograph it against a gray backdrop sky, overcast sky, and it could not focus on the bird for some reason. Now, I would personally think that this would be very easy to do, because the bird is against a opaque gray or blue sky, and it's a black bird, for example, so there's quite a lot of contrast. I would think it would be able to get it into focus, but for some reason, I don't know why, it just couldn't. But again, this happens like every 300 to 500 photographs maybe, so not a huge problem. I'm really impressed with the autofocus. Definitely recommend getting it for that. It's what I really like about this lens. Another thing I like, image quality. Now, I'm not going to do a comparison of this lens with other lenses and photograph the same image multiple times and compare the image quality and how sharp it is and does it suffer from chromatic aberration or not, all that kind of stuff. All I have to say is that the image quality is very good. The images are sharp, the bokeh is nice and soft. I couldn't find any noticeable chromatic aberration. If you like or dislike that, it wasn't noticeable to me. Probably if you zoom into some parts of a shot and check the corners, you might see some, but I couldn't, it hasn't caught my eye in any of my photographs I took, so can't really complain about that. Just solid image quality overall, very nice. I can imagine that the Sony G Masters, the 100 to 400 for example, is sharper. That's because my 2470 G Master 2, which I'm filming on right now, has immaculate sharpness. So I would imagine the Sony 100 to 400, for example, or maybe even the 200, 600, has a sharper image quality, but that's a different class of lens to me. The 100 to 400 is 2.5 times more expensive than this one. So considering the price, I understand that this might be a little less good, considering sharpness or sharpness wise. But still, for the price, I'm really happy with the image quality. Great bokeh, great sharpness, just a lovely lens overall. I'm really happy with my purchase. Another thing I like is the build quality. It just feels sturdy, feels heavy, feels like a solid designed product. You've got a quite stiff, but not too hard to operate zoom ring, as well as a focus ring that just feels nice, even though I said I barely use that. The switches are solid, just really good designed and well made lens, considering the quote unquote lower price. I really enjoy the look and feel of it. Alright, and as a final point, I want to talk about the tripod ring or tripod stand that the lens comes with. It's quite sturdy as well, really well designed. I have not used the Arca plate on a tripod itself. Usually I connect it to my monopod. I have a Surrey monopod that comes with the plate, so I just screw in the plate into the Arca plate beneath the ring, and then use that monopod to support the full weight of the lens and the camera body, of course, because like I said, it's quite heavy, and it can get quite tiresome after some hours of shooting. So definitely recommend using that monopod, of course. But the ring itself is a solid quality. It has markers as well, so you can align the lens. But personally, I would have loved to see notches that click into place at 90 degrees angles, for example, because all the in-between degrees of the rotation I'm not using. I'm only rotating it by 90 degrees for either a horizontal or portrait shot. So would have liked to have the lens snap into those places, but you have to do it on the eye and align the dots on the lens and the lens ring. So that would have been an improvement, but again, that's just a minor nitpicky thing. It just takes a little bit more time to align the lens, and you can unscrew the entire ring, of course. So be careful that you don't unscrew it fully and drop your lens from your tripod. Something to keep in mind. And yeah, you can just align those dots, as you can see. But it would have been nice if you could just snap it into place. That would have been much handier if you ask me. But still, just some minor nitpicky things. I really love this lens. I've been using for a couple of months, like I said. Highly recommend it. Just solid build quality, solid image quality, solid autofocus as well. So just a solid lens all around. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't give half stars, so not 4.5 or 3.5 or anything like that. It's either 4 or 5. I wouldn't give it 5 stars. That would be reserved for maybe a Sony lens that has just immaculate sharpness and image quality and an autofocus that is blazingly fast. This lens just performs really, really well. Really recommend it, but I would give it 4 out of 5 stars because there's room for little improvements, of course, but considering the price, it's way cheaper than a Sony lens. I highly recommend it, really love it, and yeah, I hope you do too. I know there's a lot of similar videos on this lens already. It's not the newest lens out right now, but yeah, I hope you found some value in this video, and should you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my webshop products, which can help you with videography, motion design, 3D animation, even photography. And I would love to hear from you guys. So this was Rick. Hope you have a nice day and take care. Until next time.